Hi, this is Dr. Mohammad Muqeed, working as Assistant Professor of Chemistry, Marri Laxman Reddy Institute of Technology and Management. Today my topic is natural resources, the contents of natural resources definition and classification of natural resources and natural resources renewability and water sources and source of water. And today I will discuss the overutilization of groundwater, floods and droughts and dams and disadvantages of dams. So natural resources. Yesterday we are discussing about the natural resources. Once again I repeated this. What is the natural resources? Natural resources are material that found within the environment. Within the environment, the natural resources are available and they are naturally occurring substances in relatively natural form. These are the natural in the form of natural. Now, these natural resources are inexhaustible resources. Means ఇవి అంటే ఇవి తరగనివి. That means solar radiation and geothermal energy and air. That means inexhaustible, and these sun and air are universal resources. So coming to the natural resources classification, we are classified into 4 types based on the these all things. So first one is atmosphere, and in an atmosphere we are having the air. Here look this picture, atmosphere having the air. And hydrosphere, next one is hydrosphere, it contains the water. And geosphere or lithosphere, it having the land and rock. And final one is biosphere. It having the all living organisms. So classification of natural resources are classified into 4 types. Mainly atmosphere, it having the air. And next one is hydrosphere, it's contains the water. And geosphere or lithosphere is having the land or rocks. And finally biosphere is having the all living organisms, all living things. And based on the origin, we are classified into 2 types, that is biotic and abiotic. Biotic means jeevamanavi, that means obtain the form of biosphere. So these examples are fossil fuels such as coal and petroleum, and abiotic nirjeevamainavi, that means obtained from non-living and non-organic materials. So abiotic examples are land and fresh water, air, heavy metals. Ivi jeevam lenivi, that means examples of gold, iron, copper and silver. If we see the picture, ఒకసారి వీటిని పరిశీలిస్తే petroleum and natural gas composite formations. Here oceans having 300 to 400 million years. What happened? Ancient days, these plants and animals died, and these are covered by layers. Once we observe when the animals is died, these died and were buried and the ocean floor. It will buried and ocean floor. And finally what happened? They covered by layers. It formed the layer in the form of layer. And next, in the 50 to 60 million years, in ocean contains of sand and plant animal remains. So anomalous, the pressure, what happened? Finally turned into the gas. In the ancient 50 to 100 million years, what happened? These are deeper and deeper, and heat and pressure is obtained. Heat and pressure the causes finally it will be converted into the oil and gas. It finally result shows that here sand slit and it finally give the oil and gas. These layers are sand and slate rock reach the rock formation contain the oil and gas deposits. So here based on the origin we are divided into two types, antibiotic and abiotic. If we are 300 to 400 million years, here the layers are formed. These forms died and these died animals whatever we seen in the picture, it will be turned into the oil. Finally it's shown in the picture is formation of oil and gas. So basic of renewability we are classified into two types, that is renewable resources and non-renewable resources. So these resources have ability to reappear and recycling. Renewable resources are recycling and produce the production of replacement. The example of air and soil and water. So next, non-renewable resources, that are non-renewable resources exist at fixed amount. This renewable amount is not a fix. So these non-renewable resources are exist in a fixed amount, but here we cannot made or regrowth. That example of this cannot regrowth, regenerated or regrown. The gold, iron, copper and diamonds and uranium, coal, fossil fuel, oil, etc. So coming to the based on availability, we have discussed yesterday inexhaustible resources. Exhaustible resources, they are divided into two types, inexhaustible resources and exhaustible resources. Inexhaustible means it will be taragani. It can be exhaustible means targetivi, means it can be exhaustible. Here exhaustible present is a limited quantity, that is a coal and petroleum. We can see the pictures of these images. Inexhaustible means unlimited quantity and earth. Unlimited quantity of earth we can unlimited. These are the energy solar energy is unlimited. So exhaustible means coal, petroleum, it is a limited quantity. We can if we are decreases the coal percentage is unlimited quantity. And coming to the next point, water resources. The water is we know that the naturally occurring and the water supplies the what is the main benefit is what is the main benefit of this water is agriculture purposes and commercial purpose, household purpose and environment activities. So mainly we are using the agriculture purpose. Next, commercial purpose. So utilization of water source, we are give the percentage. Wastewater is 9% is shown in a graph. Surface water is 35% and groundwater level is a 56%. Remaining 9% is wastewater reuse, 9%. But water used by category purposes we are used in a 4% use in a industrial purpose and remaining 30% municipal and major of the 66% is agriculture purpose. Coming to the next, source of water. There are various sources of water. Mainly in 97% of water surface is covered with water. The surface 97% percentage of water is covered by surface. The main source of water are rainwater. It considers the purest form of water. The rainwater is the form of purest. Next, river water. This river water flows over the surface and in the surface dissolve the salt and soil and other suspended organic matters. And the source of other is lake water. This lake water is contain lower amount of dissolved salts and organic matters. So water is the purest form, and river waters is contain the dissolved salts and suspended organic matters, and lake water is lower amount of dissolved salt and organic matters, and sea water impure form of water, and these are contain the salt matter. And what happen, it continuously evaporate, finally it give the more concentration, so finally underground water, it have underground water, it have contain the minerals and get concentrated. So what is the uses of water? Mainly the water is transparent and tasteless and odorless and essential for all living organisms. Around the 70% of earth surface covered by water. 1% is consumption of human. 1% is consumption of human. So what is domestic use of water is mainly cooking purpose and steaming, simming of fluids. So mainly water it required to taking the showers, brushing teeth and maintain the personal hygiene. So we know that domestic purpose is cooking purpose, mainly washing, brushing teeth, all these things are we are using the water, and gardening the home we are using the gardening purpose also. This water is main essential for everyday using in the water. And water is a several home appliance like air coolers, like uses in agriculture purpose, uses of agriculture purpose, main plants and photosynthesis purposes and produce the oxygen. And water is used in a livestock, dairies and fish farms. So we seen that the domestic purpose uses and agriculture purpose, and we are mainly industrial purpose also use this water. This water is the used in a hostels, restaurants, offices and other commercial facilities. And mainly industry purpose is paper and chemical, automobile industries, steel, food, textile production, dyeing, etc. These industrial purpose water also very essential for all these things. And power plant, why we are using the power plants in water? A cooling purpose water is using, and water is the main source of hydroelectricity. So here we are using paper industry, chemical industries and automobile industries and food textile industries and production dyeing industries like etc. These power plant use the mainly purpose of cooling the water for cooling purposes. And the hydroelectricity, water is the hydroelectricity, and these dams is using for the construction, rivers, lake, store the water, and which converts what happen, we store the water in a river and lakes. So all these things store in a dams. These dams are converted to the electricity using the turbines. Using the turbines, it will be convert the energy into hydroelectricity. In this purpose also water is a main use. And what happened when the overutilization of surface of groundwater, the increase of population, what happened when the increase of population, the industrial growth is demand of water, the population is increases, the demand of water is also very high. So after all this availability of surface water, the minimum human being use the groundwater to meet their needs. For human being, they need purpose, we are maximum the resource are utilizing. So if what happen, the increase of extraction of groundwater, natural to groundwater level. So what happened? The groundwater level is the natural led to the decrease the groundwater level. The purpose of water is increases, the groundwater level is decreases. So in the rainfall time, reduction of storage of water in a reservoirs. So we are depending in the dams. If the groundwater level is decreases, we are indirectly depending the dams, and these also affect the decrease of the groundwater level. So, and another reason is groundwater level is decreases is in we are using in a construction purpose activities. So what happened? The soil zone reduce. What happened? The soil zone is reduced and area is percolation rainwater and increase the surface runoff. The surface runoff is decreases. What is the reason of building construction? When the building construction is activity, what it will take the result? Soil zone is decreases and the reduce the area of percolation. So in this one of the another reason also building construction purpose groundwater level is decreases. So another one is here the groundwater rate is higher than recharge rate. Sedimentation aquifer get compact resulting in the sinking of overlaying the land surface. We have seen in the picture the overlaying and sinking land surface. The sinking of land surface because of reason is this one. Groundwater withdrawal rate is higher than recharge rate. So finally, this sinking of overlaying the land surface. This is called the land subsidence, which lead to the damage of the buildings. Finally result is the damage the building. And next, floods and droughts. The floods are when the land is usually dry. What happens when the land is using the dry? Submerged large amount of water. The large amount of water is happening. The land is usually dry. And droughts. When see the reasons of floods and droughts. Floods and droughts are two well-known natural hazards in the world. This is the excess of water flow. What happened? Excess of water flow due to the sacrifice of water. And the amount of rainfall received by area varies from one place to other place. It is depending on the one place to another place and location. In some places rain almost throughout the year. Some places raining is continuously flowing. Whereas the other place what happened? Few days only raining is happening. So India record most is rainfall in the monsoon season. In a season, India is record. This monsoon season is raining percentage is very high. So what happened? Heavy rains lead to the water level is high in the seas and oceans. So what happened? The water is accumulated in coastal areas and which results the floods. These floods extensive damage to the crop, mainly agriculture purposes crops are damaged and domestic animals and property of human life. Mainly three floods bring the extensive damage crops, domestic animals and property of human life. During floods, many animals get carried away by the force water, eventually die. Finally, it will be die. So, other hand, droughts in a particular region goes within the rain long period of time. Droughts will be happen. In the meantime, soil continuously loss. What happened? Soil continuously loss. And what happened? Loss of the ground level. So here observe the groundwater level is decreases, and other hand the drought when the particularly region the rainfall is a long period of time, this long period of time, what happen? Soil will continuously lose the groundwater level. In this process, what happen? The water is evaporate and transpiration. Since in the form of rain, soil become very dry. What happens? Soil is become dry. It is one of the disadvantage. And the level of water ponds in rivers goes down in some cases. Bodies get the dried completely. And the groundwater becomes creates the lead to the droughts. In droughts condition, it is a very difficult to get food and very difficult to food and survival. So difficult many animals such conditions. So when these ponds and rivers go water level also very decreases, what happen? The become affected and food and survival. So frequently fluids, droughts, mostly climate change because of the global warming. Frequently floods and droughts are happening that mainly global warming changes and climate changes. So various environment organization in a worldwide with the climate change long time weather patterns. So average weather conditions distribution the extreme weather events. So coming to the dams, these dams are built across the river store water irrigation and hydroelectrical power generation and flood control. So the dams built several more than one purpose. Purpose is called multi-purpose dams. These dams were called Temple of Modern India. First time the minister of Jawaharlal Nehru, these dams are by the country. First Jawaharlal Nehru is these dams were called by the country of Prime Minister. And advantages of these dams is there are many advantages which is so much money and effort goes into the construction maintenance them. This dam is maintenance is much more money and construction maintenance them. And some of the other benefits are hydroelectricity and hydroelectric power, and electricity is generated the few of them for the use of another time and water preserved. This is the use for irrigation purpose and pleasurable activities. Lake reservoir built behind the dam many may also use it. And the build up the water within the lake when we required water electricity production. Here the electricity production and this dam does not generate a green gas. Main important is does not generate greenhouse gases. Therefore do not causes of pollution. Next, this disadvantage of dams is it is a very costly, and the government need to ensure the restrictions of the strict regulations and the high quality established. This in order to become profitable enough compensate the high construction costs, they must be worked several years. Disadvantage is it is a take several years, and it is important to evacuate people. The main other disadvantage is evacuate the people from one town to other villages, surrounding areas. This is the main disadvantage, and people often physically displaced to set up the hydropower plants, and raises the significant ethical problems also facing in this disadvantage in dams. And construction large dams serious modification at the surface, and geological harm. It, it can trigger frequently earthquakes, and but the modern dams preparation the minimize the risk and such incidents. Thank you.